Welcome back, my dear friends. This is Brother Jacob, and this is the False Prophet channel, where we get Islam destroyed and the false prophet of Islam, Muhammad, destroyed on a regular basis. Okay, in this particular video, we will be using the coward Muslim cheerleader as an example of how to get Islam busted. Okay? This coward is running from me. Okay? So, to Muslim cheerleader, here I am. When are you going to step up to the plate and address Surah 46:31? And by the way, everybody, I called in to Rob Christian to his show today. And shout outs to Rob Christian. That's a real good brother in the faith. He speaks Arabic. He speaks Aramaic. And I was on his show today. And I'm going to actually make a video of when I called in to his show. Because on his show, he gave a $100,000 challenge for any Muslim who can prove that Surah 46:31 includes the name of Allah twice. Okay? For those who don't know yet, we got the Muslims busted real good. You can look at my channel, you can look on my channel, and you will see the video that I did on Surah 46:31, where it says Muhammad forgives sins. That's a very damning piece of evidence that destroys the Islamic faith. Okay? So, to you, Muslim cheerleader, before I even go into today's topic, when are you going to say something about Surah 46:31? Here lately, I told y'all he would not go video for video with me, sticking to a topic. He is afraid. He does not want to go into Surah 46:31 because he knows I was right about it. So he is remaining silent. But it's okay, because he uploaded another video, and as you see, he included my name. He included the name of my channel in the title of his video. It says, "The false prophet proved Jesus is not God." Okay? So in this video, he's speaking about the passage in the Quran that speaks about Jesus breathing life into the clay birds. Now, I made a video on my channel explaining how in the Quran it proves that Jesus is God, because Jesus in the Quran, he breathes life into the clay birds and they came alive. It wasn't Allah who breathed life. And the point I was making in my video was, the Quran says, by the permission of Allah, Jesus created the clay birds. But here's the thing. The point I made in my video is, permission does not mean that's where you got the power to do something from. For instance, and you can go find that video on my channel, because I don't really want to rehash all of this, because that's an old video. And the only reason why he went to that old video, because he's been dodging me. He's been dodging me, and he's trying to run from Surah 46:31. The Surah 46:31 problem that I'm going to keep rubbing in your face, Muslim cheerleader, you little girl. So it's not going away. He's a coward, and he's afraid to deal with the problem. Now, for instance, you can go back and watch the video that I did. So basically, in this video, he's trying to say that permission means power, but it doesn't. Okay, for instance, let me give you an example, and we're going to play the clip Because in this clip, I'm about to get him busted with something else that proves that Allah is not God. Now, when I show you this, I'm telling you, he was not expecting me to come from the angle that I'm about to come from. And when I tell you what I'm about to say, it's going to blow your mind. I'm telling you, and it's going to blow his mind. Okay, now, for instance, if I gave you a driver's license and said, now you have permission to drive, does that mean you can't drive without a driver's license and having the permission of the state to operate a vehicle? No, it doesn't. It just means that under law, you are supposed to drive with a driver's license and have permission to drive from the state. But that does not mean you don't have the power to do something if you don't have the permission to do something. So in this video, he's lying, he's fabricating things, he's making up his own terminology. He's saying that permission means power from Allah when it doesn't say that. He's creating and fabricating things. But anyway, enough talking. Let's get into the meat of today's topic. And we're going to play this little clip. And he's going to be lying in the clip that I'm about to show you because he's a liar. So let's hit play.
The lives entered. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala breathes the spirit through the angel to the womb.
Okay, he just told a little lie. Let's go back a little bit. All right. He just told a lie, but I had to rewind back a little bit. Now, he's about to tell a lie, and you're going to see him input his own fabrication into this hadith that he's reading, okay?
In the womb of your mother for 40 days. Then it becomes a clinging thing in similar period. And then it becomes a lump of flesh like that. Then Allah sends an angel who breathes the lives into it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala breathes the spirit through the angel.
You see? The hadith does not say Allah breathes his spirit through the angel. It does not say that. He put those words into the hadith, but it's okay. It's cool. It's cool because I like that he said what he just said. We about to get this Muslim busted, okay? Let's rewind it back and listen to what he said.
Days. Then it becomes a clinging thing in similar period. And then it becomes a lump of flesh like that. Then Allah sends an angel who breathes the lives into it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala breathes the spirit through the angel.
That's not what it says. It says Allah sends an angel who breathes the life into the womb. It doesn't say, look.
To the womb, to the baby. So it he blows the spirit through the angel and it goes into him. So as you can see, Allah sends an angel who breathes the life into it, and the angel is commanded to record.
So then after he said Allah breathes through the angel, then he reads it the correct way and he says the angel breathes the life into it. Okay? So let's go to... Let's read it. I don't even want to switch screens like that because you can read it. If you can't really see it, you can squint your eyes. There's no need to go to sunnah.com because you can see what it says. It says, Allah sends an angel who breathes the life into it. But he said, Allah sends an angel and he breathes through the angel. Now we're about to get heavy. Okay. Muslim Cheerleader, he just said Allah breathes through the angel. Cool. That's fine. Even though it didn't say that, we will stick with what he said. We will stick with what he said because the Quran does say that Allah breathed into the farj, and that word means vagina of Mary. Now, Rob Christian has brought this up. Christian Prince has brought that point up before. So I'm not going to, go into detail about that. You can do that on your own time, for sake of time and me recording this video. But the Quran says that Allah breathes, he breathed into the farj, which means vagina of Mary. That's exactly what it says. And likewise, Muslim Cheerleader, even though he fabricated what he said, it's okay because we about to make a real good point. He said, as you heard him say, that Allah breathed through the angel. Now, let's get busy. This is a comment that I left him. That's me leaving a comment. Let me show you. This is his channel, Muslim Warrior. That's the latest video that he uploaded with my name in the title. And let's show you the comment. As you see, the false prophet. That's the name of my channel. Now let's show you the comment that I left him. Now, he probably erased this comment, but it's okay because once you leave a comment, you can still pull it up. It may be erased on his side and everybody else can't see it, but I still can see it, and I can still go back and read the comment, even though he removed it or whatever. But here we go. This is what I left him. And I'll read. So watch this, everybody. Abdul, why did Allah have to breathe through the angel like you claimed? If he could breathe through the angel, which is one of his creations, then why can't he just breathe into the human being? Why would he need to breathe through an angel? Think about this. If he can breathe through an angel, to breathe through something else, that don't even make sense, because an angel is one of his creations, just like the baby in the womb is one of his creations according to the Muslims. We know in reality that Allah didn't create anything, okay? Because Allah is just a moon god. But we just going by the stupidity of the Muslims, okay? Now I'll continue. Why can't he just breathe into the human being? And since you say he is outside of space, this is what the Muslims say. They claim that Allah is outside of space and time. He doesn't enter creation. And also, I got him busted on that claim. And he is still running from refuting it because he knows that I was right. I posted a video and it's titled, Allah is Paralyzed. Go watch it, everybody. It's a classic video. Now, and since you say he is outside of space, then how can he breathe something out of him if he is outside of space? Are you telling us, Abdul, that the thing which Allah is breathing into the angel, like you said, is not contained within Allah? Because if Allah is outside of space, then that means he can't be hollow on the inside like a bottle is hollow so that it can contain liquid to pour out. Does everybody follow what I'm saying thus far? Okay? Because they say that Allah breathed, he breathed his spirit out of him. But they will tell you that Allah is outside of space and time. Now we're going to connect the dots. So if Allah is not in space, then how can he contain something to breathe out if he has no hollow inside? Because in order to breathe something out of you, the inside of you must be hollow and have space to contain that thing which you are breathing out. But if Allah is outside of space, that means he can't contain anything to breathe out of him, Because in order to breathe something out of you, you must be hollow on the inside, and hollow is empty space. So are you telling us that Allah has space within him, but yet he is outside of space, and that the thing he breathed out was housed within his hollow space, like a child in a womb? Do y'all get what I'm saying? Now, does everybody see why he runs from me? I'm too much for this kid. This religion is utter confusion, and in order to be a Muslim, you have to pretend dumb and don't ask questions and just accept the confusion as it is. So in conclusion, everybody, here we have a God named Allah who is outside of space, but yet he has a hollow space within him that he breathes things out of, which creates another problem, Abdul. Now check this out, everybody. You Muslims say space is a creation of Allah. So if that's the case, Abdul, it means that the hollow space within Allah was created by Allah. So basically, Allah created himself. But you say Allah is uncreated. But at the same time, you tell us space is a creation of Allah and that nothing is like Allah. But hold up, Abdul. If space is a creation of Allah and nothing is like Allah, that means Allah is like his creation because he has a hollow space within him that contains the thing he breathed out. Therefore, Allah is like his creation because you tell us space is the creation of Allah and he has a hollow space inside of him. So that means his created hollow space is a creation just like space itself. So that means Allah shares something with his creation because creation is space and was created by Allah, and his hollow space is space and was created by Allah. So how can you say nothing is like Allah? Can there be two different types of empty space? Isn't space just space? Empty voidness? So how is Allah different from his creation? I got him, everybody. Now, let's break it down without reading it. I hope everybody's following along with the logic. Here you have Allah, like in the Quran, he breathed something from within him. But the Muslims will say Allah is outside of space and time. But at the same time, if he had something inside of him, there had to have been, or there has to be space within him to contain that which is within him. But at the same time, they will tell you that Allah created space and that he doesn't enter space and time. But how is that possible when within him there is space? And at the same time, they say that space is a creation of Allah. And then they will tell you that there is nothing like Allah. But when I look up at night, all I see is space. And Allah has space in him. So now they can no longer say that there is nothing in creation like Allah. So the only way out of it, they will say something stupid like, well, Allah's space is not like your space. But even still, it's still space. Space is space. Even if you try to take the stupid route to say that the space of emptiness is not like Allah's space of emptiness, which is totally stupid. And they are dumb enough to say something that's stupid. Even still, it's still space. It's still a creation. It is still a creation of Allah. So therefore, since we know that empty voidness is empty voidness, and there is no two types of there are no two types of emptiness. There is no special emptiness and another category of emptiness. Empty void space is empty void space. Unless somebody can prove otherwise, which I know no one can. So that's ridiculous. So what these Muslims have done, they have shot themselves in the foot. I keep telling y'all that when the Muslims make the outlandish claim that Allah does not enter creation, it backfires. Because as you see, he has space within him to breathe. That's the only way he can breathe something out of him. Now, if they say Allah doesn't have space within him, then how can something be inside of something that doesn't have space to contain the something? Whether they want to call that something a spirit or whatever. And when Muhammad was asked about what is the spirit, he said he didn't know. So these Muslims don't know anything about Islam. Muhammad himself didn't even know what the spirit was. But using logic, Muhammad breathed something out of him, okay? Now, if I had a briefcase and if I was at a board meeting, if I wanted to hand everybody in the room a leaflet from out of my briefcase would have to contain what in order to carry things? Space, correct? It would have to have empty space to fit my paperwork inside of my briefcase. Okay? So when it says that Allah breathed something out of him, that means that thing within him had to have space. Now the Muslims might say, well, Allah's space doesn't mean empty or something. They may say something stupid like, like that, okay? But that would still be stupid because then they would have to tell us, then how could the spirit fit inside of no space if there is no space? You see, they don't have nowhere to run to. They don't have nowhere to run to. And why would it say he breathed? Which means you exhale. When you breathe something out, that means that something was inside of you. And if they try to say, well, that don't mean breathing out. If they try to say breathing out don't mean breathing out, then guess what? You may as well throw the Quran away. Because at that point, words don't mean anything. Nothing means anything. So now you are just left with utter confusion. Like I read. Now you are just dealing with chaos. And I know they don't want to be labeled as just chaos and chaotic foolishness. Because at that point, that means every Muslim needs to check into an insane asylum. Okay? Because at this point, this Islam is just, as I'm showing you, it's utter chaos. It's confusion. Okay? Now, let's continue. This spirit or this thing that Allah breathed from within him, it had to have fit inside of the space in Allah. And space is what? What the Muslims always tell us. They say space and time are creations of Allah. They say space, specifically, they say space is a creation of Allah. So therefore, if Allah had something inside of him, that means Allah is space. Y'all see what I'm saying? So if Allah is space, And space is a creation of Allah. That means there is something in creation like Allah. Woo! This is powerful. This is powerful information. And this is why the Muslim cheerleader girl is running from me. Because he sees how deep I take this thing. Like I always tell him, I'm like quicksand. The more you struggle with me, the deeper you go under. Now, this is his so-called video that he made to avoid Surah 46:31. So even in his avoiding video, I still get him busted. I'm telling you, boy, I'm on your trail wherever you go. Even when you try to divert and go other areas, I can still get you busted. I'm bringing you back to the very thing that you fear. You fear the Surah 46:31 video, and you're not getting away with it. As you see, I'm getting you busted even more. Even in your running away videos, I'm getting you busted. So now you got to deal with this new exposure about Allah when you say he's not like anything in creation. Now we have proven that he is just like space. Since he is the creator of space, like you claim, now we are showing that Allah has space within him. So therefore, Allah created himself. He is space. Now what will you say? Now what will you say, Muslims? Now what? And if you say that that the spirit inside of him that he breathed out was not in space, then you are saying that the spirit that he breathed out is just like Allah, outside of space and time. Woo! Like Ric Flair. Woo! Because now if you try to say that the spirit was not inside of a space inside of Allah, then you are saying that the spirit of Allah is just like Allah, outside of space and time, which again backfires because you say that nothing in creation is like Allah, and at the same time, you tell us that the spirit of Allah was created. So if the spirit is not inside of him, inside of a space, and you say that the spirit of Allah is outside of creation and is outside of time and space, now you are saying that the spirit of Allah is just as divine as Allah, being able to exist outside of time and space. And I know you don't want to go there, but that's one of the routes they may have to take, because as you see, they are in a huge dilemma. So whatever way they try to take this thing, it backfires on them. And that's what I wanted to expose today. Tell me what y'all think about that. This is some very, very heavy, damaging information right here. Tell me what y'all think about that. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below. And this is the False Prophet channel, where we get Islam busted and the false prophet of Islam, Muhammad, busted on a regular basis. And this is Brother Jacob signing out.